What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Survivor Now podcast. We are back after another break. We do apologize. We've missed a couple episodes covering this season for Survivor 43, but we are very busy. Abraham's going to the basketball games. Josh might not be with us again for a while because he covers the college basketball season, so he's off doing that. Will's got school stuff, and I have some stuff going on as well that I can't really specify at the moment. But we are trying our best. And we are back to cover Survivor 43, Episode 10. It is November 23rd, 2022, and it's a special holiday episode. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Today, I am joined by the man who has been with me pretty much from the start, one of my best friends, Eric Abraham from Season 41. Abraham, how are you doing today? It has been weeks since the last time we spoke to each other.
It's been a little while, but I'm back. Hey, look. Another great episode of Survivor. Had a blast. Doing a few things on the side, but I'm back in place, ready to jump into this episode tonight. There was definitely some comical moments, some interesting changes. So I'm excited to talk about that. For everybody out there, I hope everybody's where they're going to be at. Hope you're around your family, your friends. Get ready for Turkey Day tomorrow and just kind of relax because you saw a good episode of Survivor tonight.
And we hope that you're spending Thanksgiving with us. If your family are fans of Survivor and that you guys want to get together for like a bonus episode, this is available on YouTube if you're listening to this on Spotify. So bring the family in right after the parade, before the football games, and say, hey, let's watch these two guys talk about Survivor, because we are here to break down everything for you guys today. And we got a little bonus for you guys. For any Survivor Australia fans out there, if you stick around until the very end of the show, we will touch base on a few topics because they have started revealing the cast of Survivor Australia Heroes versus Villains, which will be coming out in January of 2023. And Abraham, you and I are both excited for this, man. We cannot wait.
If you didn't have opportunity to take a look at any of the Survivor's Australia seasons, you definitely want to check out Heroes versus Villains coming up. That is going to be a showstopper. And we're going to have not the queen, but the new queen of Survivor competing from the U.S. and Australia. Nina,
Sandra's daughter, for those of you who don't know, and she plays a completely different game from her mother. And it's a game that I think everyone should tune in. Abraham, for people who are just here for if I can get my words out, for people who are just here for Survivor US and they've never watched Survivor Australia and they haven't even thought about it, they're like, why would I do that? Why would you say they should tune in to Survivor Australia? You know, we watched Blood versus Water last year. That was our first experience, and we fell in love with it. And now we're invested with them, and we're hosting exit interviews with them and everything. So why should people tune in?
Look, if you want to see Survivor played at a whole different other skill level, skill set, see some different challenges, and just see another version of Survivor. See another version of how challenges are put together. See how somebody in Australia is going to approach the same strategy. You know, what type of strategy, what type of offense, defense they're going to play. How do they get to be the sole survivor? Tune in because, like Randy said, we're looking at Survivor Australia, Survivor South Africa, and every team plays different. Every version of Survivor is different, but we still got an exciting adventure. All of them will be on the same exciting adventure under the same umbrella of Survivor. So tune in and see how it's done in somebody else's country.
Yes, I think I've spoke on it before, but every single version of Survivor is different. You know, Survivor South Africa, much more of a social version of the game. Survivor Australia, very physical, extremely physical. And then Survivor US is the staple that we all know and love. Abraham, are you enjoying Survivor 43 so far? Because let me be honest. When I was away last week, I missed last week's episode, and old Randy would have been like, I gotta watch it immediately. I gotta watch it as soon as I get back. And I waited a few days, and I didn't really feel like watching last week's episode because I just feel like this season has just been dry. And then tonight we got a good episode, but I still feel like it's not, classic, amazing Survivor. I don't know. There's something lacking this season for me. So how are you enjoying it thus far?
So here's what it is. I look at it from, I'm hoping that they make changes from 41 and 42. Did they go in and say, you know what? We need to tweak it a little bit. We need to change this. like I said, I really enjoyed the episode where they didn't vote two people off until almost the middle. Instead of voting two people off at the very beginning, you got no time to build any relationships. You really didn't get a chance to see who everybody was. And we saw in 43 where that didn't happen. It happened more like on a day 10 time frame. Now you got a chance to develop a rooting pattern. Like, I really want to see some people be put off. Or I say, hey, you kind of looking at it right now, who wants to win? So we're vested in these actual players now versus before where, it's 26 days, but we know who they are. We feel like, okay, Owen, he's a guy that, hey, you know what? He's coming back around. We didn't think he was going to have anything going on. We got a Gabler. Gabler, to me, is like a Brad. He's a straight up kind of guy. Whatever he tells you, that's what he's rolling with.
Love Gabler.
Gabler's my guy. We got Sammy still in there, hanging in, youngest player to play Survivor, still hanging in there. So, you look at these players, you got Noel, you got them developing their own story, and then you got us invested in the story. So if you're not invested in one of the players now to see, hey, I want to see a Jesse win. He has a great story. I want to see him win. Cody still flying up on the radar. I don't see why nobody has suspected him as a threat. So to me, there's plenty to dig into in this season of Survivor. Great cast. We're not going to get the James of China or the Ruberts of back in the days. That's not the Survivor we have. So these are different Survivors. So I think we got to just kind of grow with it. And we definitely grown since 41, 42. So 43 has definitely showed growth. And in all honesty, I hope 44 takes off like a rocket ship.
Yes, excited. Thank you for bringing that up because they have announced March 1st will be the date that season 44 gets on our living room screens or wherever you guys watch it. Another thing that I want to point out before we get into the actual episode is some things never change. And my winner pick went out last week, even though we didn't cover it. Ryan is out, meaning Ryan fell victim to the Randy curse. And he once again is the first one out between our winner picks. So you had Cody as your winner pick, right? And he's still kicking. He's still in the game.
For anybody that's just now tuning into our podcast, Randy is the worst picker of who's going to win Survivor in the last 5 seasons we've been together.
What do I know? Do
not ever follow his winner picks. Ryan,
actually, if I say they're going to be a winner pick, just go the opposite direction. Yeah. Predict them to be one of the first ones out.
Yeah, don't follow. You know what? Actually, Ryan played a great game. I enjoyed his game. I didn't know why he was just so focused on getting Cassidy out. You know what? If he'd have said, hey, look, I think for all the people that's coming out to play Survivor again, don't get so fixed on one person. Be fluid and say, Ryan could have been a good swing vote. I think Ryan and Gabler are one and the same. They're basically just swing votes until you need to make a move. He was so caught up in making a move that they made a move on him. And then James has got hit with a backlash because we saw the same thing happen in our season when they split the tribes up. It's only 5. People on your alliance, people that may not be with you now are here to try to vote somebody.
Oh, it shakes the game up a lot when you split the tribes up like that. I thought last week's episode had an interesting finish. Just the rest of it, I was just kind of tuning out. So forgive me if I'm kind of not all there with what's happening and who's working together. Because like I say, this season so far has been all right, but it kind of feels a little bit dry to me. But let's get into this episode, Abraham, and what happened this week. A lot of names are being thrown out, but if you are a new fan of the show, we used to go in chronological order, sort of. Or however you say it, linear order or whatever. Now we kind of just jump all over the place and talk about everything that happened. So let's get right into it and talk about Noelle this episode. A lot of key moments from Noelle. We're going to get into just here in a second. When she came back in the reward challenge, it was a super awesome moment to be watching, to see her fight back. But first off, let's get into her elimination, because a lot of the talk tonight was centered around getting Sammy out. Sammy's getting a little too big for his britches. And that's kind of going around the tribe, but not so fast, because Sammy has some friends in Cody and Jesse who are kind of working as a tight pair. We've seen that since the get-go. They bring Carla in, and then they bring Gabler in to pull off this blindside against Noelle to save Carla. So, Abraham, what did we think about the vote off tonight, about Noelle getting sent home and the type of game she played so far this season?
Look, so before we get to Noelle, let's talk about Carla, Cody, Jesse.
Yeah.
All
But I mean,
have
it
immunity.
looks like a
all
tight.
have immunity items.
Jesse's got two.
All
Cody
got immunity
has
items.
yeah.
So at best, we know they could get one more position ahead. Carla, immunity item. So you got Noelle going in there, which she had an excellent night tonight. Excellent editing. That challenge, look, you only get to see like 10 minutes of the challenge. I know it had to be brutal just to try to get across the beam. And then just to try to go ahead and focus enough to stay in the challenge. So no quit, no matter what you do. Never quit in Survivor because you never know what's going to happen. So she had a great night tonight in the challenge. Now, when she came back as far as her social currency, as they like to say this season, the social currency, that she didn't have a lot of social currency. You know, they were looking at her already as like, oh, she's a beast. She's one of the ones we got to get. I didn't really see Noelle as being more so than Carla, who voted out several people already, which I would have got her voted out.
I mean, I knew it was going to happen, Abraham. When you talk about people saying we got to get Noelle out, everyone started to realize if we sit next to Noelle at the end of the game, she's going to win. And I hate to say it, and thankfully they did not say it while we were watching, but you know in the back of their minds, they're like, this chick is on one leg. She's putting in the work. You know, she's going to kind of get the sob story at the end of the day. If you're sitting next to Noelle, I hate to say it, I'm going to be the bad guy and say it, but if you're sitting next to Noelle, are you not looking at it like, look, this girl's on one leg. If I'm sitting next to her, everyone's going to be like, the fact that she made it to the end as an amputee, that's going to get you some votes in the end. And I kept saying leading up to this week's episode, I mean, I kept saying every week, eventually people are going to look at Noelle and be like, we can't sit next to Noelle because she's an amputee.
I'm going to grab my tribal stick. I'm gonna bring
he's getting serious now. He's getting serious now. All right.
It doesn't matter who you sit next to. It's a matter of what your story is going to be. What are you going to tell the people that you just voted out?
Her story would be she's an amputee.
No, look, you're going to have to earn my vote. I'm not going to give you a vote just because you're an amputee. I want to see what work you put in. Now, did she put in some work? Yeah, she can say, hey, I want an immunity challenge. I'm not going to give you the work because it took you longer to get to the actual part of the challenge. I'm going to give you credit because you won the immunity challenge.
It wasn't a reward challenge. She won a reward.
Reward challenge. Yeah. But she battled. I'm going to give you credit for battling because they all got a battle. It makes no difference. You got to look at Carla. She broke a hand out there, a finger or something. She's all bandaged up, and she hung on the last challenge longer than anybody. I'm not giving her any extra credit because her hand was all bandaged up. I'm like, hey, you gutted it out and you won. So you're getting credit for the win because everybody's got a nick or a bump or something that's putting them a little bit behind. They don't have food. So I'm going to say, hey, she put in the work. She gets the vote. You don't put in the work, you don't get the vote.
Now, I will say this. Let me specify. I'm not saying that Noelle would have sat at the final tribal council. I'm not saying she would have sat there and said, please vote for me because I'm missing a leg. I don't think Noelle would bring it up. I don't think she would bring it up at all. She's just an amazing person who doesn't want that to be the focal point of her life. And I have so much respect for Noelle. She's a beautiful person, and I was rooting her on because she was just kicking ass at these challenges. But I am saying if you're sitting next to her at the end, they're going to look at her and be like, she's amazing because she pushed through. And I do think the fact she was an amputee would have came into her possibly winning at the end.
I like to point this out because
go ahead and point it out, Abraham.
We always do this before the season starts. Randy had her making it to the merger. I picked her as top 3.
Wow. So Randy, what you're saying is Randy was right.
She made it to the merger, but I got her as top 3. She getting there. Oh, wait a minute. She got voted out tonight. My bad on that one. My bad. I forgot.
Yeah, he already forgot that she's not getting there. But okay, let's talk about that reward challenge. First off, Abraham, it's amazing seeing a reward challenge back in Survivor. Is it not? Like, it's amazing to see a reward challenge and not just immunity challenges.
So I remember the challenge. I remember the reward challenges of yesterday, the yesteryear challenges, where you out there on a yacht, somebody's serving you, or you go into a spa treatment. I will challenge CBS to upgrade the reward challenge.
Oh, the reward was shit because all the reward was back to the sanctuary, which we saw on season 41, which I was like, here we go again. And they're probably going to get loved one letters. That's another thing. And I put in all caps. Let me see. Why no loved ones visit? COVID is over, and I'm pretty sure in Fiji you are allowed to go. And I know you have to be quarantined, but are you telling me CBS doesn't have the money to bring families out and quarantine them for a couple? It's just laziness at this point from CBS.
I'm gonna push back a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, because you got the letters. So what's probably logistically is still maybe a little more logistically issues trying to get everybody there, because you still don't know who's coming. You don't know who's coming until you get a little closer. But
okay, you make a very good point there. Like, you would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and you don't want to bring everybody's families out if they're not going to be there. So I understand that you're bringing me back.
But here's the thing about it is, when we get to 44, I want to see some family members. To me, that was one of the highlights of the show, to be able to celebrate that adventure with your family member that comes out.
So you're running out of patience as well with the whole letters. And I mean, we saw it on Australia. They brought loved ones back on Australia. They did the letters, and then they brought the loved ones back for the finale. So maybe Survivor's going to do that. Maybe. I doubt it.
I would love to see the actual family members be able to come back out there and really enjoy the adventure with their loved ones. To me, that was one of the best, the special moments of being on Survivor. Even though the adventure itself is a monumental thing, but having a family member come out to Fiji for those few minutes or that period of time to hang out with you and say, I'm on the show with my loved one, is always a great touch. I think that's a great touch. So when we get to 44, I'm looking to see some family members come back out. You can't use the pandemic anymore because you got us in 41, 42, which they did letters for us as well. But no, I'm with you. Time's up.
Yeah, it just feels like CBS is getting a little lazy in the, letters work, so we could save a lot of money and just do letters. No, it's lame. Like you said, Abraham, that is one of the staples of Survivor. Bring the family visits back, bring the Survivor auction back, and let's get back to what we used to do all the time for the show.
And here's what I'm saying. And again, it might be a little, because you got to think about it. 43 and 44 are filmed at the same time base.
Yeah. Oh, so I think 44 is going to be a lot like 43, much like 41 and 42 were very similar.
I hope not. 45 at the least. If 44 doesn't get family members, I want to see family members in 45, period.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to have the family members come back by that time, because now we're out of COVID. So we're out of it.
Well, it's like it's a thing on your bucket list too, right? When you're filling out your Survivor bucket list, what would make merge, win an immunity challenge, find an immunity idol, and family visit? Like, it's got to be in the top 5 of your Survivor bucket list. Maybe make fire is up there as well.
I had already seen my mom coming out the jungle. I don't know what y'all talking about. Look, my mom gonna be coming out the jungle. I was gonna be running with her. They be like, why is he crying on national TV? Is that Abraham? Yes, it is. That's my mom.
During the reward challenge, were you getting the sense that Noelle was going to come back and win? Because at first I'm like, okay, they are showing a lot of Noelle. So at first I was just like, I think Noelle's going to start crying. I think she's going to eventually overcome it. I think that's why they're focusing so much on Noelle. But then it got to the point where they continued to focus and they kept doing fake outs. Like, they were like, oh, Carla's going to win. No. Oh, Sammy's going to win. No. And then I was like, it hit me. A switch went off and I was like, Noelle's going to come back and win this. Did they show her? And sorry, this is what, if you are just a casual fan, you're probably like, who cares? Why are we talking about this? But for us super fans, we look into this stuff. Did they show a little bit too much of Noelle to where it was too predictable and we knew she was probably going to come back and win?
I'm going to say, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't want to focus on her, but I want to focus on her. I didn't think that they focused on her too much because I was actually engaged in the people that couldn't toss that bag up on top of the pole, which is really difficult. So don't think it's really
money.
Yeah. Oh, so I mess with JD like that. Here's the thing. I was focusing on who wasn't making it or just making it, because Sammy almost made it. Carla almost made it. What I do like about the challenge was it was funny to go in that little circle all the way around and then try to run straight. That was real funny.
That was an awesome part. I thought the challenges, and we'll get to the immunity challenge, I thought that was really good as well. Both of them were really fun challenges. I liked how everyone stopped throwing at some point to look back at Noelle and say, come on, Noelle, you got this. I thought that was very nice of them to kind of just take a second. Super stupid gameplay, but they did it was polite. They looked back and cheered her on.
You know what? I don't know where that was at in the edit, but I wouldn't have said nothing to her because I was focused on what I was doing. That could have been something that was after the edits. So here's what I'm gonna say about that.
Are we cheerleaders now? Like, no, aren't we trying to win this thing to get some pizza and beers and get to spend the night at the sanctuary?
I'm gonna say like this here. If y'all ever see me on Survivor across the carpet, I am not your cheerleader. Don't even think about it because I'm trying to win first. Then I can be your cheerleader. I think when they started to focus on her getting across the balance beam, I was like, okay, well, they're gonna do it. So that's when I knew that okay, she's gonna make it across. But I didn't know that she was gonna win. I figured it was just gonna focus on her getting across. But then once she got across, man, she basically composed herself and she won. I was like,
they made us believe she got it in 2 throws, I believe. I don't know if she actually did, but that's what they made us believe.
For everybody that's out there looking at Survivor thinking it was 2 throws, you're sadly mistaken. And if you get on Survivor, you're gonna be hurt. You might have been out there for an hour, but we only saw 5 solid minutes. That is called editing. But again, I ain't gonna take anything. I'm not gonna take anything away from the win tonight because it was a great win, great reward. Now, them going to the reward, they didn't really talk a lot of strategy.
No, not really. They talked a little bit, but what do we think about Noelle's choices here? So she gets to choose 3 people, and first she chooses Sammy, followed by Jesse, who I guess Jesse because he's been speaking a lot about family, and then she chose Owen because Owen hasn't ate. I hate when they say that. Nobody is eating. Like, you could choose anyone, but I get what she was saying. He hadn't been on a reward, yada, yada, yada. So you have Noelle, Sammy, Jesse, and Owen. They didn't speak much, but Sammy did throw something out there. He threw out the fact. Look, I wrote it down here. Sammy wants to go after Cassidy. He thinks it's the right time to make the move. And Noelle has a confessional where she's basically like, he thinks he's leading the game, and we might need to turn the vote on Sammy, which started off as her plan, and her plan changed throughout the episode. But as you stated, Abe, from what we saw, not a lot of talk as everyone was just eating and enjoying their loved one letters, which were super, super fun to watch. Still not as good as Josh on Blood versus Water when he found out that he was going to be a dad through the letters. But spoiler alert there, my bad. But it was still really cool to see them look at the letters, and it almost brought a tear to my eye when Jesse was hearing from his children saying, what did his child say? It was like,
get the money, baby.
Get the money, baby.
Was it get the money, baby?
Yeah, I love that. Get the money, baby.
That money. You know what? The letters from home at that particular point in the game will always be emotional because you've been torn down by that time, and you're really trying to figure out how to get that extra push to get to the end of the game because the game is only 26 days, so it's not like you have a lot of time. But I wanted to see a lot more. It's almost like you black out when they say they're gonna give food to who you should bring. For me, I'm bringing everybody I'm voting with. Everybody I'm voting with. I don't care how you look at it. I'm be like, okay, I'm gonna take this person, that person. But even if I don't, like, I can't take everybody. I'm gonna be like, hey, next time if I win something, you definitely.
You're giving no explanation. You're just gonna be like, look, I'm taking you.
Yeah, I'm taking them because if she'd have took the people that was gonna vote with her, she would have got voted out. You took Sammy, and Sammy voted you out.
Yeah. You
took Jesse voted you out. So I think when people win a challenge and they get a reward, they just black out for a second and be like, oh no, I owe this person a favor. No, you owe something to yourself.
Well, Abraham, that goes into what Survivor is nowadays, and we don't have to get into it, but Survivor's too nice. Survivor with all the cheering, and even when Noelle got eliminated, everyone's hugging her. Noelle, yes, standing ovation. Since when? No, you just got voted off. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, excuse me. Get the freak out of here. Since when? And it's the same thing here. We gotta. Well, he's not eating. Come on.
Say some viewers. If y'all see Randy across the mat in Survivor, vote him out. He is not.
I don't care. We're here to play and win $1 million. We're not here to be besties on the island.
Now, don't forget. Okay, we got to back up now because we're still playing the game of Survivor. If you want that vote, you better get up and get that hug. Because you got to remember, when Jesse went over to hug her, he said, hey, I'm sorry. I had to
play to the jury. Totally understand. You got to play to the jury.
He was like, I understand. And Noelle was coming anyway. If you're a true player of the game of Survivor, you're not going to be mad because somebody blindsides you. You're only mad when somebody blindsides you when you know you didn't know it was coming. It's like, I wasn't playing that hard anyway. So to me, it was a great gameplay.
Before we get on to our next main point, I do want to throw out there, what are the odds, Abraham, that they put knowledge is power back in the game? Because they talked about it today that James didn't use his knowledge is power. And last time that, person got voted out with the knowledge is power, I don't remember who it was, but last time this happened, they put it right back in the game. And Survivor was almost like, look, this is going to work. It's kind of like the shot in the dark die, which no one has used pretty much this season.
Put knowledge is power next to the shot in the dark. I need somebody just to use it just because. Just test it out and be like, I'm just going to use this. Just see what happens.
We haven't spoke about this so far this season, Abraham. The fact, Josh and I think spoke on it a little bit last episode we had, but it's been a talking point. Rob has a podcast that talked about it. Speaking Llama, nobody's playing advantages nowadays. It's almost like everyone is so desperate to hold on to their advantages and try to save them to the very last moment. No one's really using them. When it was coming up that Carla might be the vote and Jesse was like, well, I don't know if we have the numbers. It worked out in the end, but he decided to take a risk and talk to Gabler, and it almost didn't work out. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, Carla has an idol, and then you have two idols. At the very least, tell Carla it's you tonight. Play your idol. We don't have the numbers, and flush the idol out. He didn't even think about that. Jesse's like, look, let's get the numbers. You don't have to play your idol. Why? Isn't the whole point to make him flush it? Just say, Carla, you have to play your idol tonight. We don't have the numbers.
Let me take a sip out of my Survivor cup of.
Oh, that's advertisement right there.
I mean, look, why you even got an idol? Why are we not focusing on people that got an idol? We're playing for $1 million. So you gonna let me sit to 1 million idols so I got one more time to use it?
Have their names even been brought up? I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
Let me say something.
Cody and Carla. I mean, Carla, obviously, yes, but Cody is like flying by. Nobody cares.
Cody has name, and here's the thing about it is, well, Jesse told Noel that Cody got his idol back, but it makes no difference because Noel just got voted out. But here's the thing. Back in the days, somebody having an idol was a target.
Yeah.
And that's why you didn't tell anybody that you had an idol. But you got people now, everybody knows what everybody has. Yeah. So Carla has an idol. Yeah, she might play her idol. Man, Carla didn't make a move for that idol. She was like, no, I'm good. If your alliance is strong. Now, James did have the beware, what is it? The knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
The knowledge with no power. He got voted out. Jesse's in a good place because he still got two idols.
Well, I mean, people get knowledge is power all the time and they just don't use it. I'm like, just go ask someone. Like, especially James knows. I'm pretty sure James knew at the time who had the idol. If he did, it's pretty much public knowledge.
Because the bees told everybody who had the idol.
Yeah, so he never went and grabbed. I don't know.
Here's the funny part. So you still got. Oh, here's a better part. Jesse has two idols. So Jesse can, in essence, make it 2 more votes. Jesse can make it to final 3. You got 8 players. Well, we got what? 7 players?
7 players remaining, yes.
You got 7 players. He has a good, strong alliance. So let's say he makes it past the next vote and 6 players left. He can knock off 2 more players and be down to 4 players just that easy, just by playing an idol.
Well, how long does the idol last? I think Jesse's going to be playing it the next couple of votes because I'm pretty sure the idols are only good until the final 6 or the final 5.
Yeah. So now, if he got true games play, what I would say is when I thought somebody was going to vote for me and I knew I was going to get somebody out, that's when I would target somebody else. Guess who I would target? Cody.
Cody, who's and I don't think anyone's looking at Cody as a challenge beast either, but Cody is pretty good in challenges. He's finished second twice and he won the challenge last week. Like, Cody is a pretty good challenge threat in the game.
Look at it now. So who would you really would have voted out tonight? Out of all the players that's left, who was your vote out?
Are you asking me personally who I think?
Who would you vote
I
out?
think Sammy's got to go. I think Sammy is the one I'd be going after.
Sammy would have been my number 1. And Carla, because she got an idol, would be my number 2.
And Cody number 3.
Yeah. I mean, there's no question. Noelle at this point in the game wouldn't be enough of a threat for me because I knew I could take her out anytime. So, but Carla got an idol, so I definitely want to take her out. Sammy, because Sammy flip-flop. So I don't know if I can trust her. So I'm going to knock you off a flip-flop. Carla, I'm going to knock you out because you got an idol. Owen, I'm going to knock you out because you should have been already gone. That's something like you out.
I mean, I've been questioning all season the gameplay of these players. I just don't know. And I mean, I'm not the only one. People are posting online and saying, Do these people actually know the right way to play? Let me just say, there's no right way to play the game. If you make it to the end, you make it to the end. But we have seen some very questionable gameplay all season, Abraham.
Now, you sat there and said Owen had all the hype in the world coming into this season. I'm going to say a phrase that some people may understand. He's been church mouth quiet. We ain't heard enough from Owen.
Ever since he almost did himself in early on in the game.
He challenged James, which was, if James had played the knowledge is power, they would have got Owen out, but he ain't played. I think Owen he might have had immunity at night too. So, but here's the thing about it is, the players that we thought were going to be players have not really risen to that occasion. I thought Cody was going to come through like a bull in a china shop, which I do like his gameplay. It's subtle. He's voting people out, but eventually he's going to have to take out somebody. So we're going to see how that kind of pans itself out. But here's something I do like from tonight's episode: the checklist.
Oh, I hate it. I hated the check. Am I on Nickelodeon? Do I need? Okay, let me give my side of the story. What are we playing? You know, we had a few seasons back. We had what was it called? It was the for the little kids. It was the game within the game.
Oh, the game within the game.
Are we playing to 4-year-olds here? The fact that they froze the screen and they're like, ding, check number 1. Number 2, I was like, are we playing to like 4-year-olds here? Like, we can understand what he's saying. I thought it was awful.
I thought it was pure entertainment. First of all, for the game within a game, I was on that season thinking to myself, I don't even know what they're talking about. I was there. I was like, what are they talking about? But I was thoroughly entertained by the checklist thing.
No, you can't, Abraham. You're pulling a fast one, right? You know, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's not April Fool's. Wrong holiday.
I'm giving thanks to the Survivor. And it was to me, I was like, you know what? That's pretty entertaining. The checklist. Make sure you have a cover story. Make sure you have a backup to the story. I was like, you know what?
Yeah. What were the 3? Have a cover story.
Which was have a backup, which was Gabler.
That was the last one. Have a back. No, the second one was throw the fall guy under the bus. Yeah.
That was the second. I was like,
really? I mean, solid plan. I like the fact that he listed it out, but I just didn't need Survivor putting it on my screen, stopping it, and being like, ding.
Now, I don't need to see it every episode. I don't need to see it every episode.
You know it, Jeff.
But tonight, I'm different. I enjoyed the fact that it was just entertaining to see that they had Jesse going down a mental checklist of making sure the vote happens. Now, let's go back. The vote did happen. So I'm like, he showed you the pattern. He gave you some clues next season. And for people coming out on 45 and 46, he gave you some solid clues.
You know, if Jeff listens to Rob has a podcast or looks online and he sees that people love the checklist, like you're saying, Abraham, you know, he's going to be like, ooh, we got to have this on every season. We got to start asking the castaways what their checklists are. That's why I'm just putting it out there right now. I hate it. Never bring it back. You did it once. Cool. Whatever.
I don't know where they got the checklist information from because it's not a question. Look, it's not a question. I don't know where they got it from. But I think in this particular episode, I will hashtag this episode only. To me, it was entertaining.
Now, when I go back and I edit all this together, I'm going to freeze the video when you say hashtag this episode only. I'm going to add a ding and I'm going to put hashtag this episode on. Yeah, and see if our viewers like it. No, I'm not going to do that. Do you guys understand how hard editing is? No, that's going to take too much time alone. Anyways.
Next year, I'm editing videos. This year, no.
Oh, Abraham, are you going to start editing our videos?
No. Look, I don't want to take your growth away from you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. No, next year I'm going to hire someone to edit. That's what's going to end up happening to this.
I'm trying to get free lessons from you. What are you talking about?
Let's move on to the immunity challenge, which I called House of Cards. I don't know if that's exactly what it was. This was have we seen this before? I think we have. I think we've seen something like it.
I think it's been a long time ago. I think it's been, actually, I think it was on an Australia, to tell you the truth.
Well, let me just say that Abraham and I are the first people, if you agree with me, Abraham, we're the first people to be super critical on immunity challenges when it comes to U.S. compared to Australia. They're just, the U.S. immunity challenges are lame. I liked this one, and I liked how they edited it together where it was like a montage of all of them falling, and you had Owen throwing the cards, and you had people getting pissed off. And it got to the point, who knows how long they were out there, But it was really entertaining to watch. And it got to the point where there was like 4 or 5 people out of the remaining 8 who just gave up and they were just watching. I mean, literally when Cassidy finished her tower, great strategy, by the way, for Cassidy. When she finished, Jesse wasn't even trying. He was just standing there watching her. And Owen gave up at one point. I watched him. He was watching the showdown between Carla, Cassidy, and Sammy. He was just sitting there watching. He's like, I'm done.
Look, I like a challenge. You got to put some work in, and they had to put some work in because look, not only do you have to block out Jeff and his commentary while you're trying to do the challenge, you got to try to focus and try to complete the challenge. And now somebody had already completed the challenge before, but here's the thing: it's a lot of work. It wasn't 5 minutes. I guarantee it was not 5 minutes to complete that challenge.
Oh no, they said at least at one point that you guys have been here for like 28 minutes. So it had to be at least like a 50 minute challenge at least.
I don't think Gabler was even in the challenge. I don't know where he was at. He was like, you're right. Sammy dropped out after a while. He's like, I'm done.
I told you half of the people, I thought we were supposed to go to the very end and half of the people were just done. They're like, I'm done.
Now,
whatever.
Carla, Sammy,
Carla, Sammy, and Cassidy were all battling it out. Yeah.
But then Carla knocked hers all down. She was gone. So she was done. Sammy was almost there, but he already knocked it down so many times. He was like, he was done. And Cassidy's had a better plan. Stacking them on top was the best plan.
Oh, that was a brilliant strategy. She got to the point where she's like, why am I going to still keep doing this? Like, kind of 2-1 thing where it's just going to get too unsteady. She got to a point. She's like, I'm just going to stack them up so I can get 1 to the red arrow, which I think this was, I mean, Abraham, tell me how you felt about the challenge as a whole. I thought this was a very entertaining challenge.
It was. I love the challenge. I love Jeff's catchphrase. It's a learning curve.
Oh my gosh. Drink every time Jeff goes, you can't give up on Survivor.
It's a learning curve. You think so? Who goes around putting dominoes together every day?
Oh, I do it every day, Abraham. Do you not do it? Yeah, come on. I do it every single day.
I was practicing before I went on my game. No, I wasn't. It's a learning curve. Everything on Survivor is a learning curve. I love the competition part of Survivor. I love when you got to get in there and you really got to compete to win. Because I want to see somebody that won because they put some effort into it. And not to give a sneak peek, but the last time I saw one of the challenges that's going to be on next episode.
Oh, we can go ahead and talk about that real fast. Next week, if you didn't watch the sneak peek and you don't want to know, because there are some people who are like, I don't watch that because I don't want to be spoiled. Go ahead and turn off the podcast or skip the next 2 minutes or so. But basically, it's a challenge that we've seen on Australia, and we've seen it a few times in U.S. Survivor, but they don't like to do it a lot because of safety hazards. But it's when the tide's coming in. So the water, this is what I love. I love when they use the elements. They use the tide coming in. So you start off under like a grate where you can stick your nose and mouth through, and the water comes up over time. The water level quickly comes up, and you just stay there until you can't breathe anymore. And then you swim out of the water. They don't like to do it a lot because of the whole drowning. They're worried someone's going to stay there too long and possibly pass out in the water. I don't think so. I love the challenge that they're going to do next week.
Salt water tastes horrible. Everybody that's ever tasted it understands that. And Fiji has salt water. Here's the thing. If you want to see the challenge, go to Netflix, turn on Survivor, and look for Ozzy. Ozzy is the last person I've seen do that challenge. Because the challenge is not just trying to be hanging up on upside down. It's how much fear you got of being in the water.
Oh, I would be out immediately. Once water shoots up my nose, I'd be done. I'd start coughing and I'd be done.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and do a projection on who we think the winner going to be.
Oh, okay. You want to do like a nice friendly bet here, Abraham?
So,
I
got.
You know what? I'm going to throw out Gabler. I think Gabler can. It's going to be Gabler or Cody, and I'm going to go Gabler. I think Gabler can hang under there.
I'm going Cody.
I mean, they showed Cody on the preview. Hey, they showed him. Yeah.
Well, I'm going Cody because if Cody grew up in Hawaii, he grew up in the water. So.
So he's basically Aquaman, is what you're saying.
I'm gonna say he's gonna do a Ozzy type performance, and I think he might. I don't think he gets rattled easy in water.
So, you don't think Gabler could do it?
I don't know how rattled people get in water. Water is an interesting thing when it comes to challenges. So I'm gonna go with Cody for this one. I don't
Okay.
see if Ryan was still in the game, Ryan would have been on.
Oh, it would 1,000% be Ryan. Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
he gets the fish and everything. So I think we pretty much covered everything this episode. Let's talk about where everybody. Oh, sorry, my mic volume's going all over the place. Let's go ahead and talk about where everyone is at. We don't have to hit every single person, but in terms of like alliances now, we kind of see Jesse and Cody are a strong duo. We know that Owen, Gabler, and Sammy would like to work together. That's the Baca original like trio of guys. Jesse feels like him and Cody are kind of in the middle. I think Cassidy is in an interesting place. I don't really know where Cassidy lies at the moment. Am I missing anyone here? I don't.
Here's my top four. Here's my top four. If they come together right, they could be the top four. Cassie, Cody, Jesse, and Carla.
Well, I think it's key that they have to bring in Cassidy. Carla, Jesse, and Cody would have to bring in Cassidy.
I think for me, if y'all bring in that top four, y'all can pick the rest of them off. Because here's the thing about it is, Sammy will get taken off because he didn't decide what side he wanted to be on. He's at the point of the game now. You got to make a decision.
Oh, he's playing in the middle. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah.
When they start talking about you playing in the middle, you waited too late because now they're like, we can't trust if you're going to vote with us or not vote with us. Now, Gabler has a chance, but Gabler's also known as a swing vote. So
Gabler is who I want to win the game. Like I want Gabler to win. Like I think it would be if I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he'd have the story to win. I think in terms of like if the 7 people that are remaining in the game went to the jury right now and like everyone who has been voted out voted for these 7 people, I would say either Carla, Jesse, or Cody would win the game. I don't know if there's anyone else other than those 3 that could even compete.
I would say that the petty voters have never disappointed anybody in Survivor for being petty. I don't think they would vote for Gabler. I think the ones that are remaining, you know what? I take that back. I take that back because somebody said you get what you get with Gabler. He's a straight up guy. He's a straight shooter. You know, so if you respect his gameplay, he got a shot to win. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Sammy's one of those people that I think if he makes it to the end, I don't know if he'll have the votes because of how many people he did dirty. Because he's been flipping.
Petty
Survivor would definitely get Sammy. Yeah.
I would petty survive him. I'd be like, no, he said something about my man Xander, man. I got to get it.
Your winner pick is still in the game though. Cody was your winner pick, and he is still going strong.
I do like Cody, but Cody, like everybody else, got to have something to say at the end. And right now, Cody really doesn't have anything to say. You're going to say you voted with Jesse? What'd you do? He can't take sole credit of anything that he's done yet.
I mean, he could take sole credit of getting the idol. He was able to get the beads off everybody.
That was like 10 days ago.
So what you're saying is it's too long ago, like people won't remember that.
It's no impact. You got Carla still sitting there. So if Carla and Cody are sitting next to each other and they're like, hey, we got the beads. Okay. What else did you do? Who else did you get? Where Jesse, let me tell you something. Jesse got a better chance. If he makes the final 3, Jesse gonna be the winner.
I've heard Jesse is an amazing person in real life as well, and I'm kind of cheering on Jesse for that exact reason. But yeah, I'd like to see Jesse win. There's no one really in the game that I wouldn't want to see win, if we're being honest.
It's going to be 5 other people that not going to win. They're not going to have a chance to be the winner. So there are 5 other people that, hey, if you drop them off right now, I'll be like, okay.
Before we get into our extracurricular stuff today for this episode, first off, thank you for listening. If you are listening on Spotify, please follow the show. And we also would appreciate it if you rate the show. It would really help us out. I don't really care what you rate it. Rate it whatever you want, but definitely rate the show. If preferably 5, obviously. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Can I talk today? Like, I couldn't get like out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to also head over to our Twitter at Survivor Now Pod or our Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast. Abraham, who is putting you on the spot here? Who's your player of the week? If we're going to open it up, we haven't done it for a few weeks, but we're going to open it back up for voting on our Instagram. So if you guys want to vote for who is player of the week, make sure to head over there. But who is the player of the week, Abraham?
Noelle,
Who do you think they
Noelle's
should?
my player of the week, man. Noelle.
Even though she went home, she'd be the first person to win player of the week, even though she went home.
Look, you're on Survivor. Once you get picked to be on Survivor, play Survivor. And she's played Survivor. She played outwit, outlast, outplayed until she got voted out. But she went out swinging. No matter what, she came in and she dominated and played the game. I love that.
I'm going to throw out Jesse. I think Jesse played a great game. He wasn't the one who won the challenge, obviously. Either challenges he didn't win, but I thought socially...
None. He's not won none. How about that? No challenge.
Socially, he's in a great position. I think that Jesse... I think he's telling the truth. And he said it this episode. He's like, look, everybody trusts me. I think it could come back to bite him in the butt. But I think as of now, he is in a great position moving forward.
I think he has great social currency, as I like to say in season 43. So he has a lot of social currency. But I think he has to make a decision when he's going to push Cody in front of the bus. He pushed Cody in front of the bus. He gets Cody voted off. So
you're saying that those two need to split up somehow.
Oh yeah, he got to get rid of one of them. Got to get rid of each other anyway.
Who would win if those two? Let's say they did a final 2, not a final 3, and let's say it's Jesse or Cody. Who is the better story right now? I think Cody needs to make the move on Jesse.
Cody would be the better story because Cody's won challenges.
I think Jesse would be the better story. I think socially Jesse has played a far better game.
Let's go.
Okay, let us know. We'll put the poll. If you're listening on Spotify, let us know. We'll put a poll for you to vote who's played the better game so far. We'll share the results. If you're watching this on YouTube, go in the comments and let us know who's played the better game. We'll leave this up to the fans to decide, Abraham, what they're thinking.
The fans.
All right, so that covers everything from episode 10. We've got only a few episodes left as we have hit the final 7 of Survivor 43. Before we get into our Australia Survivor stuff, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. For those of you who don't know, it is America's Thanksgiving. I know I don't have like the biggest family gatherings, to be honest. My brother went to the military, so it's just going to be my mom and myself. We're going to make a little lunch, and then we might go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever because I've been away, so I still have not been able to see it. So we might go see that. Don't know. We both kind of got a cough going on, so we might just stay home and watch a movie on TV. What are your plans, Abraham? What are you going to be up to tomorrow?
So the family's here, mother, father, in-laws, family members are all here. We probably have about 20 people over to the house. I will be deep frying turkeys in the morning, and we're just going to have a family day. We'll watch a little bit of football. I will be grudgingly looking at the Cowboys. Even though I live in Texas, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but that's okay.
Who's your football team? Do you have a football team again?
Technically, I support the Atlanta Falcons, but they haven't won a game in a consistent row. So, but we will definitely be having Thanksgiving and just relaxing and enjoying each other's company and having a good old time.
I'm going to try to leave Abraham alone. No, I'm still going to message you tomorrow morning, Abraham. Wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I think this is a great time. We're asking you guys to do a lot this time, but let us know in the comments down below on YouTube what you're thankful for. Let me get us started off here, Abraham, when we're talking about what we're thankful for. We're thankful for the fans, you guys who tune in every week and listen to us talk. Abraham and I have not been, two-faced about it. We do this for fun. We don't do this for a profit, really. I mean, Abraham, I don't know how he stuck it out for so long without saying, Randy, when do I get paid? But we do this for fun. I'm thankful for all of you who tune in and listen and let us do this and, give us people to talk to. We love speaking about the game of Survivor and bringing you more content in form of the international versions and etc. And Abraham, I'm thankful of you as well, man, for coming on and speaking. I mean, we're going to be going on a full year coming up. I think you joined me last December. So we're going to be going on a full year together. And I wouldn't want it any other way. We've been on an incredible journey to New York. Hopefully we do that again. We've kind of stayed on Zoom after our episodes and just kind of chatted. It's not for those of you listening and watching, Abraham and I don't just come on here and say, okay, bye. I mean, we text each other, we'll call each other, we're there for each other in times of need. And I mean, I feel like hopefully Abraham feels this way too. I feel like there's a real friendship that has come out of this. And so I'm thankful for Abraham and thankful for all of you guys and look forward to doing even more episodes in the next year.
I like that, Randy, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to have this great adventure of Survivor, but I'm even more thankful for going out when I do events that other Survivor put on for either charity or just we're going out to support them and just meeting the fans. I mean, y'all are great fans when you're out there and you just never know a conversation with somebody will change their lives. And we're put in those great positions to have those conversations. And I meet and greet and take pictures and answer questions from Atlanta to LA. I'll be down in Orlando. I'll be back in LA in December. But the fans make it possible. I mean, thank you for y'all to have the ones that want to get on Survivor, keep working at it. Always continue. You've got questions if you see me somewhere. But the opportunity to have this great adventure and to share this great adventure, I'm thankful for. And Randy is a very humble young man. Randy put this together from a phone to what it is now. I mean, we got lighting now.
I'm working. My lighting's kind of terrible at the moment. I got a new light, so I got to find out how to lower it down. But sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
We got lights. We got real mic. We got real mics now. We don't have phone mics. But we build up this podcast and we continue to build up this podcast. But it's Randy's effort and work that allows us to be able to reach out and talk with the players in not only the previous season of Australia, but the upcoming season of Australia, Heroes versus Villains. We will be interviewing the players for their season over there, interviewing players for South Africa. And when you get a chance to talk to people around the world that plays this game that we love, it's just a great opportunity. But to have Randy be the instrument of being able to do that is another great thank you out there. Because I wouldn't be able to do and talk to the people and share my Survivor experience with other countries if it wasn't for Randy. He's a humble young man. He really is. And he's right. We got a chance to meet in New York. We had a great time. We got a chance to meet some of season 41, season 42, season 43 members. We had a great time out there. But you gotta remember, give back.
Yeah. I mean, we're both doing charity events. I mean, yeah. Abraham, you just did a charity kind of mini Survivor competition. Where can people check that out?
I was up in Atlanta. Davey put on a Halloween costume party up in Atlanta. So I went up there and was a part of that event. So if you got there I think I got some pictures on I need to put some pictures on Instagram. You know what?
Oh yeah. No, I know you went as Black Adam. You had a fire costume. I was talking more about the online game. Wasn't that for charity? The one you did?
I just did an online game a couple of weeks ago for charity for Heart for Reality for the event I'm going to in next month. It's a great event for the kids. It's about 80 of us that are coming down for reality stars, from Big Brother to Survivor to wrestlers to different things that happen on CBS to support the kids and just have a good time down there for the 7th through the 11th. We'll be down there all together. And then if you don't see me down there, the following week, the 14th season finale of season 43, I will be at Lauren Ashley Beck's event in LA. That's on her website, Lauren Ashley Beck, or it'll be popping up on mine all the way. But we'll be out there also putting on the season finale, and also that's a charity event as well, part of the proceeds.
Let me just tell you guys, Abraham keeps saying, "Oh, I'm humble." This man has been, now it's just turned into us talking each other up. This man's been all over the place this year. I mean, he's like going all over. What I want to say, I've been super busy too. I can't really say anything about my busyness for legal reasons, but Abraham, we're traveling all over here.
I will say this, Sarah. I had opportunity to meet Joy. If you look at The Mole on Netflix, her name is Joy, but she is a pilot, a Black female pilot, which is not a high percentage in pilots, but I got a chance to meet her because of Survivor. And she was on Netflix, The Mole, and I was just as excited to meet her and to talk to her and just talk about just life. but this opportunity has definitely been great. I can't complain. It continues to be great. Randy is just a part of it. Randy will never say anything anyway.
I'm just
That's why he got me mic.
I'm just along for the ride. Like Abraham's out here kind of representing the show in all these locations, and I'm just along for the ride here.
Randy was in Manhattan, so don't
Yeah,
let
yeah.
Randy fool you up.
Yeah,
And
I
the thing
was.
about it is, Randy is just as talented in singing and acting,
Oh my God.
and just wait, you will see him somewhere soon. But don't let it fool you.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, man. So I thought that was good for us to put it out there, what we're thankful for. And yeah, you can also catch me on an upcoming season of Survivor. Well, okay. Let me pull it back here. No, I'm not announcing that here. Hopefully someday you can catch me on a online reality game, and org is what we like to call it. Coming up next year, 2023 on YouTube. It's a full online Survivor game. It's called Expedition Online. 16 castaways. Basically, it's all through Discord and uses video just like this. They record all of it. You're going to get to see us scheming and making alliances. The challenges are insane. I just did a challenge where you had to tie 2 ropes to your doorknob, have a ping pong ball, and you had to guide the ping pong ball with one hand, make sure it stays on the string, and then drop it into 3 solo cups. The challenges are insane. Like you see it all on camera, all unfold. And there are 2 coaches for Expedition Online. Every single season, Survivor players come out and coach teams. This season, you have Team Fishback and you have Team Coach. And they did a draft. I think I'm allowed to say what team I'm on because I'm pretty sure Fishback already posted it. But you can cheer me on Team Fishback and also use the hashtag Team Randy to cheer me on for the upcoming season. I will be making a post where you guys can go donate to the charity that I am playing for, which is Born Free Foundation. Everybody's playing for a charity, even the Survivor coaches. The winner gets a pot that we all put together, donated to their charity. So I am playing for Born Free, which is a charity over in the UK and Africa, who they support endangered species. Sorry, forgot the word endangered for a second. They support endangered species, and they have a whole other page dedicated to tigers, and tigers are my favorite animal in the world. And it blows my mind, and I'm very passionate about it. It blows my mind that they could be extinct in our lifetime. And that is just, I can't believe that hunting of these beautiful creatures still happen to this day. So I want to donate to this foundation and help them save these beautiful animals. So definitely I'll give you the information to go donate, but be on the lookout. Expedition Online, check them out on Instagram, and go to YouTube and get ready for season 5. I'll be competing on it. So we'll see how I can actually do now that, I say I'm a Survivor expert. Let's see how I can actually do in terms of gameplay, Abraham. You got high hopes. You have high hopes for me?
You better than me.
We'll see. We'll see how I do. So the last thing we're going to talk about today, wrap this up pretty soon because I know Abraham wants to get down with the family. So first off, Abraham, thank you again for joining me tonight. I was looking forward to getting back on schedule here after a busy couple of weeks. But Survivor Australia, definitely tune in, guys. It's going to be, you're going to have to find, if you're in the United States, you're going to have to find a live stream. Reach out to Abraham or myself on Instagram, and we'll tell you where you can check it out. We're just not going to say it here because we don't want to get them in trouble with certain people who might be listening to this. So reach out to Abraham or myself personally, and we'll let you know where to check it out. But there's live streams that you can discover online. And if you're in Australia, actually the majority of our viewers and listeners, Abraham, are from Australia. That's where we're pretty popular covering the Australian version of the show. Obviously you can watch it on 10net out there. I think it's called 10net or 10 play. Yes. It's called 10 play. My bad.
We'll just ask one of our Australian connects and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got some connections now in Australia.
Post on our page.
Abraham, what do you want to say about the upcoming season? I know we spoke about it a little bit, but we just found out Nina's going to be back. The Joker, Jordy's going to be back. The horse, Sean, and we've got some new players as well returning. You got King George coming back. So I think that there's a lot of characters coming up on this season. And if it's anything like Blood versus Water, I am
So
ready.
I'm looking forward to see Nina play. She got taken out of Blood versus Water due to an injury, not because she was voted out. The Joker just played his heart out. As I don't really see him as a villain, but he played
You
his
don't
heart
see him
out.
as a villain. He
Yeah,
is
I
for
mean,
sure a villain.
he really just had to play to stay in the game, and then he got taken out. So I'm looking forward to see the players that we had a chance to look at last season. A couple of them we had a chance to talk to. So this is going to be great because it's like us coming back, not looking at Australia for the first time, but coming back to Australia. So I'm just looking forward to just getting back in there and definitely trying to check out some of their challenges.
And we're going to be hosting exit interviews all season. So anytime someone gets eliminated, they will be speaking with us. Abraham, we really started this. I started it at the very end of Blood versus Water. I got to interview the final four, but you and I started this for Survivor South Africa, and it is so fun, and it's a blessing, man, to be able to speak to these people.
And I think my highlight of last season was South Africa and Dino. Dino,
the winner.
The winner. And we were wrapping up the podcast. Dino was like, "No, Abraham, you're doing a lot of good stuff out there." I was like, Dino from South Africa, the winner, was looking at my stuff. And I was like, really?
I mean, it still blows my mind. Thank you for the follow. I don't know if you're listening to this. I doubt you're listening to it, but if you are, the horse that I keep talking about, Sean, who's coming back for Survivor Australia, he followed us today, gave us a follow and everything. He followed the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put him on. I got to put him on my thing, man. I got to put him again. Survivor is a international show. I mean, just get out there and just root for different countries, man, and root for your player. We're looking for a Survivor crossover where you take all three, because UK Survivor hasn't come online yet. But let's take all three and take players from all three of them and play an international game of Survivor. I think that would be fire.
I hope they do it very soon. And Abraham, I hate to talk us up one more time, but usually when people leave our show, they want to come on, they want to come back and speak with us. And we almost always have an amazing time. I don't remember one interview that either they left or we left and we were like, oh, that sucked. I think every single interview we ever do, it's always a fun time with them. And I hope at least everyone enjoys it.
You know what, I didn't talk to Randy about this, but for the end of the year, we're going to bring on special guests fans that love the show to come on and critique some of the episodes for us. Just hang out with us. So if you're a fan out there and you want to come hang out with us, just DM us and we'll say, hey, we'll put you on and say, hey, you can come join us. Will you come critique the show with us?
Should we do a special? We did the reunion for Australia where we had a bunch of people on, but should we start putting this together, Abraham? A special, maybe New Year's thank you to everyone. So maybe shortly after the holidays, maybe we do something where we host a live stream on here. We have some special guests and we bring some fans on to maybe speak to some actual Survivor players from Australia, South Africa. What are you thinking? I think we should start putting the guest list together.
I think that's going to be pretty fire. So let's do it.
So that does it for us today. Once again, we hope you guys have an incredible Thanksgiving. We do plan on being back here right back here next Wednesday, but at this point who knows, we want to be on schedule, but we are very busy as well, so we hope to be back. We're going to try to get back to doing weekly episodes for you guys on a consistent basis as well. Abraham, where can everybody catch you on social media?
You can catch me on IG on the Abraham_99_99.
You can catch me on Instagram at I'm Randy Bruce, or you can go to my website, randybruce.net, and you can catch all the episodes as well of the Survivor Now podcast through one of the tabs on my website. Sorry, short plug. I had to plug that in there. So
I got to remember my Twitter account.
Oh yeah, well, Twitter's going through so much right now. I don't even know how much longer that's going to be a thing. Abraham, anything else you want to say to the fans before the holiday starts here?
Everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the time off. Just relax and have a good time.
All right, we will see
safe.
you guys. Yes, definitely be safe, but drink a lot. Just don't drive. Drink a lot for Thanksgiving. But everybody, we'll see you next week for more Survivor 43.